Podcasting from beautiful Leesburg, Virginia. Welcome to the Music Educator podcast, bringing you tips, tricks, and practical advice that you can use tomorrow. Here's your host and fellow music educator, Bill Stevens.
Hello, everybody. This is Bill Stevens with the Music Educator podcast. And today's episode, we're going to talk about, do drummers count? This is a question that can be answered in many different ways. As a middle school band director, I've had several drummers, or more specifically, percussionists, fill my band rooms year after year. I say percussionist because the drummer implies that we are teaching students who only play drums. And it's my responsibility to educate the whole child and thus teach all of the appropriate percussion instruments. And many of these instruments are much more than just drums, such as the keyboards, electrophones, and a variety of world instruments. Regardless if you're a percussionist in a school or a middle-aged man playing the drum set, you matter. Musicians far and wide have made many jokes about drummers throughout the ages, but the truth is, without drummers or percussionists, music would be empty. Since the time of early man, the tribal drums of old filled our souls with a sense of purpose and expression. Beated out rhythmic figures communicated a variety of messages, including calls to war, rain, celebration, and dance. From a formally trained educational perspective, rhythm reading, listening, and feeling music is at the core of a successful performance. There is no reason for anyone to reinforce rhythm literacy. Rhythmic note durations are but simple math. These rhythms must be practiced over and over again so that the brain is free to keep firing synaptic connections from various extremities of the body. Generally, the average set player doesn't need to practice overly complicated rhythms, since most performances include primarily eighth notes, quarter notes, 16th notes, and triplets. By practicing every day at varied speeds, these basic note values will provide the foundation of proficiency. Here's a trick. If you find you're reading a mess of rests within a measure, scan to the end of the measure. Read the measure backward. This may seem confusing, but it will provide you with a bit of clarity and understanding of how the measure adds up. As a result, you won't have to guess what the value of all the rest adds up to. For additional tricks and skill development information for percussionists, check out www.vicfirth.com. Do drummers count? Well, the answer, counting and rhythm reading, is at the core of being able to successfully interact with a performing family of musicians. And the homogeneous blending and creative interplay of a music ensemble with a percussionist or a drummer will delight the audience and exactitude of your craft. That's it for today. If you found this post insightful, please feel free to share and subscribe to the Music Educator podcast. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Music Educator podcast for the latest tips, tricks, and practical advice you can use tomorrow. You can subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. Please visit the Music Educator blog at www.themusiceducator.com for additional posts and music education news. As always, join in the discussion and let your voice be heard by providing feedback at www.themusiceducator@gmail.com or leave a Google voicemail at 703-942-9883. We will see you on the next episode of the Music Educator podcast, and remember, music can change the world.